Welcome to I Said What I Said. I'm Brad 𝐾𝐨. That's Tyson Gentry. We are back in the saddle again, folks, for our Week 3 betting episode in college football. Tyson, we got kicked in the teeth last week, my man.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, maybe even a little bit worse than that. That was the worst performance I think we've ever had as a show, and I led the way. I know that the units don't reflect it, but Brad had a much better week than I did.
Let's take a peek. You guys know we don't shy away from anything that we do here. If we put
Which
stuff
we should
out,
start, dude. We should start shying away from it a little bit. I'm taking over on this one. I'll go first. I went over first. The Iowa State-Iowa game was the farthest away a half point has ever been from cashing a bet. Texas team total over 44.5. We couldn't get there. You guys scored 4 times in 5 minutes. That was nuts. LSU team total over 43.5. Never sniffed it. And then Vanderbilt and Vontac, dude. What a read.
Well, it was on pace, Tyson, the first half, and then Vandy just decided to open up the can of whoop ass on him. So Tyson 0-4 with the play of the week. That's down 5 units. I was worse, though, and I went 3-7. I tried to spray the board a little bit. I felt good about what I did, and it did not come to fruition. So I'll start with the wins. Indiana land 35.5. They destroyed Kennesaw State. Oregon minus 27.5, just obliterated Oklahoma State. I'm looking at that. I'm feeling good. UAB Navy sails over even with the frickin' 2-3 delays that they had. So I was like sitting there, watching some of these games, stewing because play of the week, Penn State looked horrible. 41.5. They can't do anything. It's 10-0 at halftime against FIU. James Madison, Louisville, honestly, over 55.5. That started the string of awfulness on Friday. I should have known I was in for a bad week with that because that game was atrocious. Liberty minus 6.5. I just can't back them. Like, that was just so ridiculous. They lose outright. Just absurd. Then getting Ole Miss from Kentucky when they go down and cover by kicking a field goal, and then Kentucky goes down there, kicks field goal for no reason. Just unbelievable. Cincy can't cover 22.5 against Bowling Green. Just shocking. I got West Virginia, Ohio over 60.5, not 60.6. That was one of the worst displays of offense I've ever seen by teams that want to get up and down and score points. Just not even close. And then UCLA UNLV over 54.5. The fact that didn't get home was honestly a soul-crushing result for me, Tyson. Like, I was literally sitting there depressed, just like, what the hell just happened? And so down 5.25 units on the week. Just a disgusting effort from us as we were down 10 units on the week. So now I'm down 6.79 for the season. Dyson's down now 2.09 for the season. We're down 8.88 on the year, which, hey, it's early. We got plenty of time to start figuring things out, to get things rolling again. And Tyson, we're not even going to think about this. We're jumping right into week 3. Without further ado, folks, you know what time it is.
It's money-making time.
Brad, we're down 8.88 units, you said, as a show.
Yes.
888 number meaning for all those people. Upcoming financial and material abundance.
Wow. There we go. All right. That's a good sign. You got to hit your low point before you rise to the high point, Tyson. So
that's all we're trying to do.
Inexplicably, I still have not reclaimed this box. I thought I was going to do it in week 2. I was talking a big game, and yet it didn't happen. So, Tyson, why don't you start us off with your play of the week?
I'm going with Texas Tech to beat the shit out of Oregon State. That's where I'm at. Minus 23.5 is the number here. It's at home. I think Texas Tech this thing's over at the break, man. This is a 45, 10 football game. I think Texas Tech is going to continue to rise in the polls and do their best to become undeniable before this thing gets a little tougher for them.
So I'll have some simpatico with Tyson on that later, but I got to give out my play of the week first. I'm going to lay it with Miami. 17.5 minus 105 on FanDuel. This is just a great spot for the Hurricanes and a terrible spot for USF. And when we talked about this in a preview that we did coming into the week, I think Miami's going to get out and run in this one. I know the darling here is USF, but the power rating that I look at has this game at 18.75. Another one has it at 10, so that does scare me a little bit, but I think that's boosted from USF, performing well against Boise State and performing well and beating Florida. So I think sometimes the power rankings can lie this early in the season. I think Miami's a better team. They got better athletes. I think they blow out USF and end the Cinderella run in the early season here.
Last week I talked smack on all your plays, didn't fade you on anything, and lost all my bets. So this week I'm just going to say I like it. That's fine. I'm going with Oregon minus 27.5 here. I was looking through team totals, and where I live, the implied victory total here is 30 points. For Oregon, I also think that this is just what we got to do at this point. Oregon is going to beat everybody by 40 until they have to go to Happy Valley. So let's just rock it that way.
I'm on it with you here. Oregon 27.5. I'm just going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. Minus 110 on FanDuel, like Tyson said. This is just a play that we got to roll. They have Oregon State next week, and that's the Civil War, but this is not a good Oregon State team. I don't think their attention is necessarily going forward or looking ahead to that. This is also Oregon's first road trip. And so sometimes, yes, you can get a little lax, get a little loose, but also it can lock you in. Like you're going on the road and this is a Big Ten game. I think Dan Lanning's going to have the boys ready to fire up, and Northwestern I don't think can hang with the athletes that Oregon has. So Oregon minus 27.5 for me as well.
Let's go. I'm going to go into a little bit of hater mode here. Under 51.5, Clemson and Georgia Tech. Come on. Like at this point, this is the only way I can play Clemson, and I'm going to keep doing it because I'm stupid. But this offense has looked brutal. Georgia Tech, like we know the clock's going to be running. Like outside of Superman putting a cape on, I think this is comfortable. Or 52.5, excuse me.
And I got Tyson 52.5 on MGM, so that's something here to look. I always shop around as we have explored our horizons here on the podcast. But I'm going to go to a Friday Night Lights thing here and give Houston minus 3.5, minus 118 on FanDuel. Now, I got to say, guys, this does scare me a bit because the line is moving against me. I like this at 4.5. We're open for Houston, and it's moving away. It's moving in Colorado's favor, but I just don't see it here. I mean, the power ratings I look at has this as a 4.5, a 4.6 point spread, and a 5-point spread. So that gives me some confidence in just from that standpoint. But then I'm looking at the numbers. Houston's defense is really good. I mean, they're second in EPA per pass and 14th in EPA per rush. Colorado's 62nd in EPA per pass, coming in 67th in EPA per rush. And they're going with their third-string quarterback, Ryan Staub, over the 5-star freshman that they brought in, over the veteran Caden Salter. Now, does he give a better chance to win than those two? Perhaps. But Staub was the third stringer coming into the season. So that does give me some pause, especially going on the road and facing a defense like this in an environment that Houston's going to provide. On the flip side, Houston's offense, it has not been great on that front, 74th in EPA per pass and 106th in EPA per rush. But Colorado's defense hasn't been impressive necessarily either, 96th and 98th and 96th in those metrics respectively. So I do think Houston is going to cruise here. I think they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit more comfortably, and this defense is going to eat up what Colorado throws at them.
Let's get our win total over home for Houston here, huh? I'm going to go with Texas A&M and Notre Dame under. This is sitting at 50.5 points on FanDuel, minus 108. Let's keep the clock running, dude. We're going to run the football. We're going to play. We know what we're getting out of these two teams. We previewed this game. If you want maybe more in-depth stuff, go check that out. But long and short of it, Marcus Freeman's going to get these guys up and ready to roll. And I think the defenses from both sides come out swinging. And I don't know about either team's passing offense. I think the clock moves. We stay under this number.
And I'm going to go back to the Texas Tech play with Tyson that I said I was simpatico on. Again, 23.5 minus 108 on DraftKings that we're playing here. So they're facing that Oregon State team, and it's not very good. Yes, they have Malik Murphy at quarterback, and he's been good, 40th in EPA per pass through the air, but this is not a good running game. They're 111th in EPA per rush. This Texas Tech team, which has a huge NIL valuation, these guys are putting money into this roster. They're 31st in the EPA per pass, 11th in EPA per rush. So if you're going to force Malik Murphy to be one-dimensional by shutting down their run game, I think that bodes well for Texas Tech. And then on the flip side, this is an offense that's quietly been really good. Baron Morton, they are operating at 11th EPA per pass rate, 70th in EPA per rush. So that is like, are we going to get the running game going for Texas Tech? We'll see. But they're against a defense in Oklahoma or against Oregon State that's 86th and 77th through the air and on the ground in EPA per play metrics. So I think this is a smash spot for Texas Tech, like Tyson alluded to. So I'm simpatico with them.
Let's go. And then ending it off here for me, LSU minus 7.5. I went over all this. This is message sending time. Like Sunbelt Billy kept his job a year ago by beating LSU in the swamp. This year it is in Baton Rouge at night with a different football team. Brad, how does Florida's offense look if they've looked like that against who they've played as they come in here to Death Valley and play this LSU defense?
Yeah, and it's plus 136 with a 50% boost on DraftKings too for Tyson. That's the big game there. So Tyson, this is a very good play. I like it. We talked about this, man. LSU has not necessarily looked great on offense. This could be a spot where something happens for them and they pop here. So that's something to keep an eye on, something to look forward to. I, of course, was telling myself that I'm going to govern my plays this week. And of course, I couldn't help myself, Tyson. I looked at the board. I saw a lot of stuff I liked as we get ready, like final tune-up before conference play. So I'll speed through a couple of these here. And I'm dipping back in on Texas. Minus 40.5, minus 110 on MGM against UTEP. Power ratings 44.95 on the spread, and another one that's 45.25 on the number. So edge to Texas on this. This is a final two, or one of their final tune-ups. They have another one before they get into the SEC play. But this, to me, screams boom spot. Yes, Texas has not been good through the air, 94th in EPA per pass, but they're against a defense that's 124th through the air in defending it. Flip side, Texas has actually been able to run the rock pretty well, 17th in EPA per rush. UTEP's defense is 84th in EPA per rush. So that's major advantage for Texas. And then UTEP's offense is anemic, 104th in EPA per pass, 74th EPA per rush. We know what Texas defense can do. Like, they are elite, 30th in EPA through the air, 6th on the ground. So if you're going to make Malachi Nelson one-dimensional, oh boy, this could be a feast spot. I think Texas runs it up, and we see 𝐟𝐸𝐾 put up a big number here.
Dante Moore is like consistently on your mind. I know we talked about Oregon before, but this is like the third time now you've shouted him out.
I know. Keeping rolling here. Illinois minus 27.5, minus 110 on FanDuel. I know a lot of people are saying could be a sleepy spot. Illinois goes on the road. They beat Duke. Then they come back home, and then they're facing a Western Michigan team before Illinois faces Indiana, what could be a eliminator in the playoff. But I think Illinois is just more talented across this roster than what Western Michigan's going to face here. 17th in the EPA per pass, 34th in the EPA per rush are the Illini. They're going up against defense that's 54th and 129th in the EPA per play metric. And I think that last one is a huge one, Tyson. Illinois wants to run the football. They haven't had a ton of success when just looking at things like raw numbers. If they're going to be able to gash this Western Michigan defense, I think they're going to be able to cover this number comfortably because they're not going to stop running the football even with the backups are in. So if they can keep gashing this thing, they're going to be off to the races. On the flip side, Western Michigan can't move the ball through the air very well, 114th in the EPA per pass against a defense that's 56th. So that's not a great strength for Illinois, but 86th in rush EPA for Western Michigan against a defense that's 16th and stopping the run on an EPA per play basis. So Illinois, I think, has a huge advantage, especially at home, coming back, getting ready for a big one. I don't care. I think Brett Bielema is going to want to run this one up for the fan base.
You're speaking my language with all of that, brother.
Notre Dame minus 6.5 plus 136 on DraftKings with the 50% boost that they're offering. We went over this. Notre Dame had a bye week after Miami, and I think that's was actually a gift for him. I know a lot of people are like, that's kind of strange. But to look the way they did on offense against Miami and look, honestly, on defense the way they did, to be able to circle the wagons, all right, guys, then we can prepare for A&M in a must-have-it spot. Because I think if Notre Dame loses this, there's going to be a lot of people that think they should not be in the college football playoff. So that's something to note. I think Notre Dame just gets rid of all of that. They run through this A&M defense that is struggling, man. I mean, A&M's 111th in EPA per rush. Jeremiah Love, Jadavian Price are going to be running the rock. I think.
Do we know they're going to get the rock?
I think there's a concerted effort for them to get the ball in this one, Tyson. That's for sure. And 127th in EPA per pass for Notre Dame's defense. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think Notre Dame rolls.
You're not saying you don't think Marcel Reed can win the game through the air, is what you're saying?
I just think Notre Dame's secondary is better than they showed. And so that's what's giving me some confidence in the Golden Domers.
Well, you could say it. I mean, I'll say it. He's not winning the game through the air.
This one's going to piss you off, I think, Tyson. Or maybe make you chuckle. I don't think Dilfer's going to piss you off anyway, actually. But I'm laying the points with Dilfer and UAB. Minus 11.5, minus 105 on DraftKings. That's because Akron's horrendous. Like, they need to figure out what the hell is going on there because that offense sucks. The defense is even worse. And if you're coming in there with a bad defense, we know that UAB the one thing they can do under Dilfer is score the rock. Like, they're moving it across a Navy team that's, can be buttoned up at times on defense. Like, UAB was cutting them up. So they're going to have no problem going down and scoring on Akron. And this UAB defense, yes, it's not great, but it has been improved since they've got the defensive coordinator from Air Force. And this offense for Akron is bad. And Tyson, there's a mental thing here. Everybody in the program's looking like, okay, if we're going to win one game, or this is the one we're circling. I think UAB brings it. The offense is firing, and they just blow the doors off of Akron.
You don't have to go into all this. Just say that you want to support your bald brother, Trent Dilfer, and that he's one of your favorite human beings on the face of the planet. And we can schedule this every week where you'll have a UAB play, and we know, dude, we get it.
It's normally going to be an over, I think, for the rest of the way. I don't think I'm laying margin unless it's against a team like Akron. And the last one for me, as we wrap it up, I'm having some fun late night. Arizona State, Texas State over 59.5 minus 115 on FanDuel. I think this Arizona State team is much better offensively than what they showed. It was a bad performance against Mississippi State last week, which is concerning. But they're coming back home facing a Texas State defense that is one of the worst in the country. I think things get rolling. Sam Levitt's going to remind people that he is a good quarterback, that this offense can look good. Jordan Tyson, it should be popular after this game once again. And then Texas State's offense. Woo, baby, that thing is cooking. That is fun to watch. They're going to be able to score on anybody they face. And Arizona State, there's some lapses in that defense. I don't think they're very good comparatively. And if you give any ounce of space, Texas State's going to take advantage of it. So I'm going to have some fun down here. Let's go over 59.5.
Over under 100 receiving yards for Jordan Tyson.
I think over.
I think so too.
Yeah. That's it for our picks. But Tyson, that's not the only thing that we do, because we started to give out the parlay of the week. We haven't hit one yet. We've been a little bit close. Let's take a look at that's the wrong button. Let's take a look at what we did last week. We got Oregon minus 27.5 home. We got Colorado minus 23.5 home. Well, that was a little bit sweaty, but Clemson first half minus 17.5. Not close to getting home. That was ugly. But in UCLA, UNLV, if that was the last leg that didn't hit, I'd probably call the FBI and see if there's an investigation. But alas, that didn't get home. But we're moving on to this week, Tyson. As we got a 5-legger so we can use a boost on DraftKings.
Yes, and it's basically what we just laid out for you. Oregon minus 27.5 is a play we're both on. Illinois minus 27.5. Brad talked about that one. I like that as well. Texas Tech minus 23.5. Just show me the money, dude. And then Notre Dame money line, that's your 6.5 point play. And then LSU money line, my 7.5. We're just going to take them little parlay pieces plus 14.87 on DraftKings.
But that's with the boost, so go check that out. We're going to try to get one home here. We're 0-2, but again, these are half-unit plays, so we are down 1 unit on that. But if we hit one, we'll be starting to cook here pretty soon, so that'd be a good sign. In the meantime, Tyson, I mean, we got some injury updates that need to happen. Austin Simmons is going to play for Ole Miss. If there's stuff that happens or we want to play some things on game day or even live plays, where can people find that?
The Discord app, group name is I Said What I Said. Yeah, dude, it's a weird time in college football. Like, stuff is changing. It's a weird time in the NFL. Like, now people are really starting to remember, okay, so if he doesn't practice on Wednesday, what does that mean historically? And that's where we're at. And so Evan Ingram's going to play. Maybe look at the Broncos. There's a channel in that for you too.
Go check that out. Like Tyson said, the link is in the description. In the meantime, guys, like, subscribe, and share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button, listen to podcast 4 and 5 stars if you haven't already. Subscribe so don't miss a single thing we do. We don't just do gambling, of course. We like reacting to games. We like giving you our opinions as we break things down. So that'll be coming out after the weekend. We got our NFL picks that we got to give out too. Much better on the NFL gridiron than the college one, so don't miss that. So we're going to keep things cranking for the season and share it with a friend, with an enemy, your coworker, your brother, your sister, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you guys when we talk to you. Till then, peace.